myself in position here. So, begin the stream in just a second. Just got to make sure everything's running properly here. It's kind of a late night stream, so I'm not going to be super duper loud. You know, try to keep fairly quiet, but you know. Let me switch ears here. There. I hear better out of the right ear. Yeah. So, awesome. I'm uploading other things right now, so if the upload speed is a little slow, I apologize, but we'll begin here in just a second. Go ahead and blaze this out. Alright, we'll go ahead and my shoulder's kind of sore right now. Been trying to do some stretches and stuff to kind of help it out, but you know, I was debating on even doing this live stream because of it, but I'll power through. So, okay. Okay. Just getting this out on Twitter and stuff. Okay. Alright, good. I just gotta blast it out on Facebook. Okay. Yeah, I really should have worked on that thumbnail. Again, sorry. Yeah, I don't know. I always see the streams as just kind of a spontaneous thing, so... Okay, cool. Alrighty. I think we are just about good to go, so let me make sure we're all set up here. So, oops. Alright, so now we got our background and stuff up. Let's begin the stream proper. So, excuse me, so my throat's a little sore right now. I'm downing these things like crazy. Friggin' mints. But it's still a little sore, so if you hear me coughing and gagging and grab, sorry. It is what it is. Alright, so let's begin the stream proper. Hey gang, Andy here, and tonight I'm going to be putting together a like a little update video vlog kind of dealio, where I talk about what's going on in my life, stuff that I'm hoping to work on in the future with YouTube, and also that the friggin' video that, you know, they're the high five heard around the world pretty much. So if you guys haven't seen the finale for the JonTron's Starcade series, spoiler alert. But you know, I was so happy at the end of that, you know, like I seriously cried, like for real. It was just a little, you know, it wasn't a lot, it was just a little bit. It's enough, you know, and it's kind of silly to say that, but I don't care, you know, these guys, you know, have been a big part of my life, and a big part of other people's lives as well, so, it was good to get some semblance of closure, I guess you could say, with the whole Game Grumps fallout and all that back in 2013, I think is when, yeah, it's 2013 is when John left and Danny came on board. So it was good to get some closure with that, you know. Now, whether or not they were friends after the fact, you know, after John left or whatever the case may be, you know, we won't know until they start talking. But I think, you know, after this, I think they're going to be a lot more open to collaborations and stuff like that. You know, maybe John will show up on Game Grumps one day, do like a little guest appearance, like Grumpcade, or maybe they'll pull out like a classic Grumps episode or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, I definitely think that, you know, this is a new beginning for them both. And, you know, of course I don't expect John to come back full time. I'd love for him to, but I don't expect him to come back full time. You know, maybe just like a guest appearance, or maybe for like anniversaries or whatnot, but, you know, nothing full time. But anyway, I'm just glad that they're, you know, whether you want to say they're officially friends, maybe they were friends the whole time and we just didn't know, who knows. But anyway, I'm just glad that they, you know, made a video together for the first time in years. Literally years. So I'm really excited for all that. And yeah, you know, that's just kind of been my week this week, you know, just getting that and, you know, dealing with moving and stuff like that. So, you know, I've been pretty busy as of late. That's why I did, you know, my last stream was a bunch of unboxing videos right in a row, so that's why I did it that way, because I just want you guys to have like some footage and stuff, you know, so that way I can focus on moving and taking care of some last minute school stuff, you know, signing up for some more classes, things like that, you know. So there's that. But anyway, I know you guys don't want to hear me blather on, but we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna edit some videos, and you know, in the video I kind of talk about all that life stuff that I mentioned earlier. So I'm gonna go ahead and drop all the files onto the timeline here. And this is a big file, so this might take a little bit. I'm just gonna move that over there. And like I said, I am uploading stuff as well, so if the stream lags a little bit, that's why. So apologies, but it's almost done, I think. I think I got a little more ways to go. But just my look, it'll probably be finished by the time the stream ends. So it is what it is, I guess. Alright, good. We got part 1, or the first part of the thing, anyway. Let's get the second part on the timeline there. Alright, cool. That's going to take less time. Thank God. So I don't know who's going to be watching this late at night. Maybe no one. I don't know. But, yeah, I wanted to do the stream earlier, but like I said, my shoulder was, it still is, hurting pretty bad. So, you know, I just laid down, did some stretches, you know, trying to fix my posture so that way it doesn't hurt as much. Which, you know, because it's in the shoulders and stuff, it's mostly just because I lean, you know, when I'm editing, my shoulders are forward, so that puts a lot of tension and stuff, especially on this shoulder. I don't really notice it here as much, but especially this shoulder. So I'm trying to, you know, keep my shoulder blades as flat against the, you know, the back of my chair as possible. So, you know, aside from my editing hand, which has to be a bit more forward, to actually do stuff, but you know, I try. So anyway, I think the rest of it's on the timeline now, so let's go ahead, let's name it first. I forget what number we're on right now. Let's see. Look for the Vliggity Vlogs. That'd be 220. Okay. Alright. Cool, so this will be vlog 220. So we'll just go ahead and save it right here. Excuse me. Yeah, I don't know where I'm getting this cough from. It's really weird. You know, I've been taking a lot of vitamin C and stuff like that to avoid getting seasonal sicknesses, because sometimes that happens with me, like with weather changes and stuff like that. With especially like this is mid-December, and it's actually pretty warm here for Ohio this time of year. So, you know, I'm just, you know, making sure my body's good for when the temperature does drop, because that usually those sudden temperature changes, usually when the temperature goes up, but sometimes when it goes low, that I get sick. So I don't know if anybody else does, but I do. So I'm just taking proper precautions, you know, vitamin C, you know, I know, thrilling. But yeah. And I'm also taking vitamin D, because that really, if any of you guys out there are suffering from even a little bit of depression, or, you know, seasonal afflictive disorder, which is the most accurate acronym in the world, SAD, SAD. So if you guys suffer from that, you know, vitamin D is definitely the way to go. Definitely helps me out. Stuff like that. So, anywho, I'll check on some things before I begin. Alright, seems like we're good to go. So, let's finally begin. Alright, so good. Now I'm using the GoPro in this video with the lavalier mic, and I really gotta learn placement for the lavalier mic, because, you know, I usually wear t-shirts, and, you know, if I was wearing like a polo shirt, it'd be a lot easier. I could put it a lot lower, so you won't hear the ruffling and stuff as much. But you know, I usually wear t-shirts, so I have to pin it on the collar. And it just, I don't know what the hell I'm doing with lav mics. And I gotta get a proper one, because that one was just an insert one for something, I forget. I think it was with the Hapag Rocket, if I remember right, my video capture device. It was just a default one with it, and then I bought the little windsock, you know, on eBay for like $5 for a 3-pack, so it's pretty cheap. So I got those for it, which helps, but still, like, there's all that rubbing noise, and one of my main gripes is throat noise. So like if I swallow or anything like that, especially swallowing, generates a lot of throat noise, and to me it's like nails on a chalkboard, just like, no, hate it, don't like it. So I never could stand any of those Japanese beer commercials, or like any commercial where the family or somebody drinks, because you hear that, like I can't do it. It's like a gagging, like, because it's like very accentuated, and that's not something you really notice a lot on the American commercials. Like, you don't hear the throat noise, the swallowing noise. So, just a little tidbit, I guess.
Alright, and we're recording.
Not too much pause. Just to let you guys know, this video is a long one.
Recording.
Shit.
Hey, gang.
Oops.
Alright, and we're recording.
Good.
Hey, gang. Andy here. Coming at you, boop, with my December 2015 update video, part 2. So yeah, I'm just...
Okay. Now before I get too into this... Actually, now we'll keep this file as is for now. But before we get to editing it, actually I think I'll just put it off to the side for now. Deal with it later.
Alright, and we're recording. Hey gang, Andy here. Coming at you, boop, with my December 2015 update video, part 2. So yeah, I'm just sitting here in my car out by Grand Lake St. Mary's here in Saline, Ohio. Just going over, giving you guys a little bit of update on what's going on YouTube-wise as well as personal-wise. But it's mostly going to be personal because of reasons I'll get into later. But basically, like, I've been very busy as of late, getting personal stuff taken care of, so I haven't had as much time to devote to YouTube stuff as I would like. But hopefully that's going to change soon. But in the meantime, in my personal life, as you guys know, I already got an apartment all squared away up in Portage, Michigan, which is just a couple miles south of Kalamazoo, Michigan, where I'm going to be going to school at. So I start in January of 2016, so next month. I'm getting the rest of my classes and stuff squared away for that. I should have gotten it squared away earlier, but the whole sign-up process for it was kind of complicated, and I didn't really know what I needed and stuff like that. So this past weekend, my mom and I went up and stuff like that. So kind of complicated, and I didn't really know what I needed.
Okay, I think we can get rid of and stuff like that. Shit. Yep.
Sign-up process for it was kind of complicated, and I didn't really know what I needed. This past weekend, my mom and I went up. All right, and we're recording.
Oh, God fucking damn it. I lost my spot. There it is. Thankfully, I didn't go very far, so. Alright, we're gonna lower this a little bit.
Know what I needed. This past weekend, my mom and I know what I needed. This past weekend, my mom and I went up to Western Michigan, where I'm going to be going to school at, and we did like the orientation.
Jesus. Minute in and I'm already stalling.
Western Michigan, where I'm going to be going to school at. We did like the orientation thing, but because it was for the spring semester, which is primarily when a lot of transfer students come over instead of just fresh new faces, the celebration stuff wasn't.
Okay. Check.
Come over instead of just fresh new faces. You know, the celebration stuff wasn't as big as I'd expected because there wasn't as many people. So, and like the first.
Damn. Remember when I said I was gonna take it easy on this video? I lied. There's a lot of pauses and crap in here, and I'm just like, kill the pauses.
As big as I'd expected because there wasn't as many people, and like the first couple panels and stuff were pretty disorganized. You know, there's a lot of people coming.
Jesus.
Panels and stuff were pretty disorganized. There's a lot of people coming in late and not explaining stuff and just basically doing like a Q&A.
Okay. Alright. Good, my thing's almost done. My secret project. Which I allude to in this video, by the way. Just a little heads up. Let's see. I should close that out. Things might help.
There's a lot of people coming in late and not explaining stuff and just basically doing like a Q&A. Ooh, the sun's coming out again. So you can see how white I am. But anyway, yeah, so the first couple panels were pretty thrown together, so we were kind of discouraged by that. Then we went to the VA office, the Veterans Affairs office, and met up with people. You know, finally got office, the Veterans Affairs office. You know, finally got to get some office, the Veterans Affairs office. You know, finally got to get some FaceTime with people I've been corresponding with on email for a while, and it just, you know, it felt great, you know, to actually touch base with them and stuff like that. And you know, they kind of taught me some things and things I needed to I
guess I'm gonna have to keep it at this view because of, well, zoom out a little bit, but not by much. Just so I know what to get rid of here. Check. Too far.
Stuff like that. And you know, they kind of taught me some things I needed to submit still, you know, for extra grants and money and whatnot. So I already took care of that. So still in the process of getting it all sorted out. But you know, hey, that's extra money. I already took care of that. So still in the process of.
Okay.
So I already took care of that. Still in the process of getting it all sorted out. But you know, hey, that's extra money, you know. So that's great. And yeah, so I met with them.
Okay, now I don't know. Like I'm kind of torn on the whole lavalier mic thing. Now for the GoPro it works just because the internal mic for it is, I mean, it's good for outside. It's not so good for inside because you hear a lot of stuff, a lot of mechanical noise inside.
Money, you know. So that's great. Yeah, so I met with them. Then we went, because I'm going to be signing up for a business ma-
How the hell am I gonna? incorporate this.
So that's great. Yeah, so we met with them. Then we went, because I'm going to be signing up for a business major. So that's great. Yeah.
And we'll just get rid of that whole darn mess.
You know, so that's great. Because I'm going to be signing up for a business major. So we went over to the business college out there. Met with everybody. It was very professional, of course, you know, business. So yeah, but they have like collaborations with it was very professional, of course, you know, business. But they have like collaborations.
Just tighten it up a little bit.
It was very professional, of course, you know, business. But they have like collaborations with a lot of, you know, major name companies and stuff like that. You know, they do like internships and, you know, stuff like that. So, you know, I'll pretty much, I mean, you know, knock on wood, you know, I'll pretty much have a job lined up by the time I graduate. So, I mean, at least that's the plan anyway. So, really excited about that. Really excited to be starting school again.
Trying to get rid of as much ums as possible. I have a real bad problem with that.
And anyway, so really excited about that. Really excited to be starting school again for the first time since 2006. Actually, was when I started at Urbana University. Now I started there in fall of 2000. 2006, and then I got kicked out in the spring of 2007. So it's like, it's kind of funny because it's like, it's almost.
I have a lot of incidental wording, you know, like the ums and the you knows, and stuff like that, which is another incidental word.
In the spring of 2007. It's kind of funny because it's like, it's almost 10 years after I started at Urbana that I'll be starting college again. And, you know.
Actually, I think I'll let this one play out because it's like, it's sinking in.
Started at Urbana that
and seagulls too.
I'll be starting college again. And, you know, I think now I'm in a much better place in my life to actually, you know,
we'll kind of tighten that up a little bit.
Better place in my life to actually, you know, get my shit together, get a degree, go out, get a job, and do other things as well, you know. So, really looking forward.
It's a really long pause.
And do other things as well, you know. So, really looking forward to it, you know.
Got to get rid of that, you know.
Do other things as well, you know.
Let's see here. See how that sounds.
Degree, go out, get a job, and do other things as well. So, really looking forward to it. You know, it's gonna be some ring rust, as it were, to, you know, get back into the groove of things for college. You know, because like I said, I've been out of the whole college thing for almost a decade. So, you know, like math and things like that, I'm really wasn't good at it then, and I'm probably worse off now. But you know, once I shake off all that stuff, I think good at it then, and I'm probably worse off now. But
So like I said, I'm torn on a lavalier mic because on one hand, it produces great sound. And it's very clear sound. I don't know if you guys can see the waveform here, but a lot of, you can clearly see when I'm talking, and you can clearly see when I'm not talking, and a lot of the waveforms are broken up, so it's way easier to edit than doing it with a standard mic like what I usually use.
Good at it then, I'm probably worse off now. Once I shake off all that stuff, I think I'll be good to go, because I'm in a much better frame of mind this time.
Yeah, I think I'll get rid of the
Once I...
There's a breath.
I'm probably worse off now. Once I shake...
Okay, definitely gonna need... Oops.
I'm probably worse off now. Once I shake off all that stuff, I think I'll be good to go, because I'm in a much better frame of mind this time around versus then. So a lot of the issues that I had.
A lot of so-ums.
Then, so a lot of the issues.
And of course, throat noise. My mortal enemy.
Time around versus then. A lot of the issues that I had back then were money related. So, like not having enough money to go to college, not having enough money to, eat, things like that. So, it's usual college gripes and things like that. But I think
I'm gonna try to make it not as tight. Try being the operative word here. Give a little bit of space to the edits. Otherwise it gets too jump cutty. It's all about proper discipline.
So, it's usual college gripes and things like that. But I think a lot of that's going to be taken care of once the post 9/11 kicks in. I get my beat. The post 9/11 kicks.
It's gonna be too quick.
Going to be taken care of once the post 9/11.
Yep, too quick. Too quick.
Going to be taken care of once the post 9/11 kicks in. I get my BH and stuff like that. But for now, I'm going to have to be living a little bit leaner than I was used to, being in the Navy. Being in the Navy, getting leaner than I was used to. Than I was a little bit leaner than I was used to, being in the Navy, getting a lot of disposable income and stuff like that. So I'll have to buckle down a bit more, because I cut into my savings a bit more than I expected during my stay out here, and that's kind of, the curse of, having that long of a break in between. Having that long of a, that's kind of, you know, the curse of having that long of a break in between getting out and going to college, you know. On one hand, I think it was kind of great that I got the break because it allowed me to reacclimate myself to civilian life. It allowed me to, you know, reboot my way of thinking and.
Okay, we'll just tighten up the sound a little bit here. Some less pausing and things like that.
Reacclimate myself to civilian life. It allowed me to, you know, reboot my way of thinking and structure and stuff like that. But on the other hand, thinking and structure and stuff like that. But on the other hand, you know, I got bored really quickly because, you know, my friends are working 9-to-5 jobs. Really quickly because my friends are working 9-to-5 jobs now and they've all moved out of Salina, so, you know, it would be very difficult for me to, you know, see them again. And I want to see them again, but, you know, like I said, we're at different points in our life now. You know, they've long since graduated from college and they're not necessarily well established, but they're fairly established in their field. So, you know, they're pretty locked into their fairly established in their field, pretty locked into their careers right now. And, you know, family, of course. Fairly established in their field, you know, family, of course. And, you know, a lot of my friends have kids now and wives and husbands and stuff like that, so there's that. And, you know, me, there's that. And, you know, me, single guy, fresh out of the Navy, so, you know, you know, going back to college and stuff. Yeah. And I also turned 30.
I'll leave a lot of that in there for reasons.
College and stuff. Yeah. And I also turned 30 at the beginning of December 7th. You know, a day to remember. A day that will live in infamy. The beginning of December 7th, a day to remember. A day that will live in infamy, as it were. So there's that. And I lost my train of thought. Hold on.
Okay, so right there.
So with turning 30,
Beautiful. Okay, long. I think that's the longest pause in this video because I completely was going off on a tangent and completely lost my train of thought.
me, as it were. With turning 30, you know, there's a lot to, it hasn't really completely dawned on me, but it's starting to, in little chunks, day by day. And it's just like, you know, you have to change your mentality because, you know, I'm no longer a 20-something, you know, trying to figure his life out. You know, I'm a 30-something, and it's more about, it's less about figuring out who you are and more about just getting yourself established. That's not to say, you know, you should have all your shit figured out by the time you're 30. It's just you should have a clear picture of where you want to be. And, you know, mileage may vary, of course, but, you know, for me, you know, my 20s were a very experimental time in my life. You know, I tried a lot of different things, you know, visited a lot of different places, and just, you know, broadened my horizons.
Fucking throat noise. Pisses me off no end.
You know, visited a lot of different places, and just, you know, broadened my horizons, all that cliche stuff, you know, and I still
decrease the pause just a little bit.
broaden my horizons, all that cliche stuff, you know, and I still want to travel, you know. I really love making travel videos, you know. That was something that really inspired me to make videos. Making travel videos, you know, that was something that really inspired me to make videos, and was, you know, that was something that really inspired me to make videos in the first place, because, you know, the first series of videos that really inspired me to make videos were first place, because, you know, the first series of videos that really inspired me to make videos were like the original J-Vlog videos, where, I mean, if you break it down, a J-Vlog video, or a J-Vlog rather, it's kind of redundant to say that, but you know, a J-Vlog is like a travel video in Japan. So, you know, really enjoyed.
And I don't really hear the throat noise except with lav mics because they're so close to my throat. But
You know, a J-Vlog is like a travel video in Japan. Really enjoyed how they did things, and just them talking about Japan and Japanese stuff, and it just, you know, it was really interesting to me. So, you know, when I was starting off on YouTube, I decided to kind of do videos in the J-Vlog style, but for local things, because it was really interesting to me. So, you know, when I was starting off,
okay.
really interesting to me. When I was starting off on YouTube, I decided to kind of do videos in the J-Vlog style, but for local things, because, you know, Salina may not be that interesting to me, or style, but for local things. Salina may not be that interesting to me or most other people, but there are some people that are like, well, what's America like? You know, they have that same, you know, interest in America that, you know, some people that are like, well, what's America like? You know, they have that same interest in America that I did and still do in Japan. And so I tried to make my videos like a J-vlog style, and that's what really inspired the whole life and video series. Was just like my, ham-fisted attempt at making an Americanized J-vlog style video. So there's that, and also the life and So there's that, and also the life and video series is also went all around the world as well. It's different parts of the world. Different parts of Asia, Australia. Americanized J-vlog style video. The life and video series is also went all around the world. The life and video series is also.
Where's it start?
The life and video. J-vlog style video. A life and video series is also went all around the world as well. It's different parts of the world. Different parts of Asia, Australia, stuff like that. So, really wanted to do Europe, but yeah, stuff like that. So, really wanted.
Dang. Trying to kill all the filler.
An Americanized J-vlog style video. A life and video series is also went all around the world as well. It's different parts of the world. Different parts of Asia, Australia. Really wanted to do Europe, but just wasn't in the cards, at least during my time in the Navy. Hopefully I'll be able to go do like a European trip or something like that. It's definitely something I want to do, but for now it's just not in the cards, so don't expect it anytime.
Turn that up just a little bit.
I'll be able to go do like a European trip or something like that. It's definitely something I want to do, but for now it's just not in the cards, so don't expect it anytime soon. But there is one thing that I really want to do, and it's kind of a bucket list material for me, and I don't know if I'm going to do it this year or next, but by this year I mean 2016, because 2015 is already over, but I digress. Anyway, so there is some bucket list material that I do want to do in the nearish future, and that is travel across America by train. I read this blog by a travel blogger, and he kind of outlined how he traveled across America by train and like how much it cost and stuff like that. And stuff like that, and it was very interesting because by train and like how much it cost. It was very interesting because, I, to be honest with you, I really don't like driving. Like if it's local or something like that, fine, great, cool. But like traveling long distances, I hate it, as far as driving goes. Now, if I'm riding the train or something like that, all right, cool. I kind of get into a rhythm when it comes to stuff like that, trying to find a seat and, making sure the battery for my phone, the little USB battery is hooked up to my phone so I don't run out of power and stuff like that. I got like a rhythm going. But basically, my brain is occupied with other things rather than, driving and making sure I don't hit people and stuff like that. So, I think,
eliminate the cough.
And stuff like that. So, sure I don't hit people and stuff like that. So, I think, you know, riding a train. I don't hit people and stuff like that. I think, you know, riding stuff like that. I think, you know, hit people and stuff like that. I think, hit people and stuff like that. I think, you know, riding a train through America, I'll be able to see so many different sights, and I'll be able to enjoy them a lot more in the moment because, you know, I won't have to worry about driving. You know, I can just, oh, we're by the Grand Canyon or whatever the case may be, you know, snap, 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 take pictures and stuff like that. And I really want to do that, you know. You know, of course, you know, if I do whatever the case may be, you know, snap, 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 take pictures. You know, of course, you know, if I do eventually do it, I do want to make a video of it, but I also want to take pictures and stuff like that. So that's definitely something for the bucket list in the fairly, not immediate, but, you know, the soonish future. So I'm really excited about that. But aside from, you know, future...
Oh, shit.
I'm really excited about that. But aside so I'm really excited about that. But aside from, you know, future plans, aside from, you know, future plans and stuff like that, wow, we're well past the 12-minute mark as far as the long.
I end up cutting this part.
But aside from, you know, future plans and stuff like that, wow, we're well. But aside from, you know, future plans and stuff like that, wow, we're well past the 12-minute mark as far as the long, the raw cut goes. But I'm gonna make this a long one just because. You know, future plans and stuff like that. Wow, we're well past the 12-minute mark as far as the long, the raw cut goes. But I'm gonna make this a long one just because, like I said, I got a lot of stuff on my mind as of late. You know, with moving and all that. Just getting everything all sorted. And like I said, already got an apartment, already got the keys and all that stuff. I've been busy moving as the minute mark as far as the long, the raw cuts and stuff like that. Wow, but I'm gonna make this a long one just because, like I said, I got a lot of stuff on my mind as of late. You know, with moving and all that.
Okay, right there. I'm wondering where to cut it at. So, let's get rid of this whole fucking section. Fuck that section in particular. Jesus, okay.
From, you know, future plans and stuff like that, you know, with moving and all that. Just getting everything all sorted. Stuff like that, you know, with moving and all that. Just getting everything all sorted. And like I said, I already got an apartment, already got the keys and all that stuff. I've been busy moving. And like I said, I already got an apartment, already got the keys and all that stuff. I've been busy moving as much as I could in my car up there. You know, we made 2 trips. One was when I got the apartment, and the second one was this past weekend when my mom and I visited Western. So we just dropped off a couple of boxes and stuff, whatever we could fit in the back, and then came back home. So now this weekend I'm going to be getting a little... and came back home. So stuff, whatever we could fit in the back, and then came back home. Now this weekend I'm going to be getting a little U-Haul trailer to get the rest of my stuff, which is mostly bigger items like, you know, my bed, my couch, my new futon, table, and some boxes and stuff like that too. But it's going to be a lot less now because we already took so many boxes and stuff. So yeah, that's pretty much just going to be my...
Good. Good.
Because we already took so many boxes and stuff. So yeah, that's pretty much just gonna be my weekend this coming weekend, you know, busy moving and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, and once I get again, you know, busy moving, and once I get all moved in and settled into my new apartment, which should probably take like maybe like a week or 2 depending, I do want should probably take like maybe like a week or 2 depending. I do want to get some things going. Like a week or 2 depending. I do want to get some things going for my channel, you know, set up some kind of a schedule, I guess, you know, for certain things like my Andy Cade channel, which is my
Okay.
set up some kind of a schedule, I guess, you know, for certain things like my Andy Cade channel, which is my Let's Play channel. I really want to get that thing off the ground. It's just with school and whatnot, it's going to be difficult, but I do want to get it off the ground. With school and whatnot, it's going to be difficult, but I do want to get it off the ground, and as long as I can set up certain times to do it, you know, I think I can pull it off. And I also need to work on my commentary a bit more. I realized that kind of looking over
That's
the
pretty
early
bad.
episodes of Andy Cade, I was like, you know, So I really need a lot of help. I was like, you know, so I really need a lot of help, you know, developing my Let's Play channel. And I've been looking at a lot of other Let's Play channels because that's pretty much what I watch nowadays. You know, I still tune in to J-vloggers and my friends and stuff like that, but you know, it's primarily Let's Players. Mostly the more laid-back Let's Players like Game Grumps and Super Beard Bros. Super Best Friends is kind of hit or miss depending on what they do. Two Best Friends is pretty good too. And of course, you know, you got the big name. Two Best Friends is pretty good too. And of course, you know, you got the big names, you know, like Markiplier and Jacksepticeye and PewDiePie and stuff like that. But for those and Jacksepticeye and PewDiePie and stuff like that. But for those, especially those particular three, this is gonna sound really weird, and I don't want, you know, you guys to rag on me for it. It's just my opinion, take it or leave it, whatever. But I don't really like their Let's Play videos, to be honest with you. I just don't like that style of humor. It's a little too much. You know, it's a little too exaggerated. You know, it's just, you know, just don't like that style of humor. It's a little too much. You know, it's a little too exaggerated. Too much, a little too exaggerated.
Yeah, it starts a little too soon. As soon as it can start.
It's a little too much, a little too exaggerated. It's a little too much, it's a little too exaggerated. It's a little too much, it's a little too exaggerated.
Close enough.
You know, it's just, you know, scream after scream after scream. It's like there's no build up to it. It's just bah, 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 you know, stuff like that. And it can get a little draining to watch those types of videos because they have to be like constantly on all the time. But the one thing I do like about those guys is their, I gotta find the right word, but like transparency, honesty, I guess, in talking about their channel and talking about themselves and just the way that they open up their lives to us. You know, like Markiplier is a great example of this. You know, there's some Let's Plays of him.
Shit. Fuck. Lost it.
And it can get a little draining to watch those types of videos because they have to be like constantly on all the time. But the one thing I do like about those guys is their, you know, there's some Let's Plays of his that I like. I kind of like. Markiplier is a great example of this. You know, there's some Let's Plays of his that I like. I kind of like the Honey Pop stuff. I've been liking his run with Super Mario Maker. You know, I know it's an overused Let's Play title, but I still like it. I've been liking those, you know, but I really enjoy his
Might be too tight.
an overused Let's Play title, but I still like it. But I really enjoy...
Yep, too tight. Oopsies.
Let's Play title, but I still like it. But I really enjoy Mario Maker. You know, I know it's an overused Let's Play title, but I still like it. But I really enjoy his, you know, just his life vlogs, or where he talks about issues or something like that, whatever you want to call it, you know, just his non-Let's Play stuff. And, you know, talking about his new dog Chica and stuff like that. And he recently came back to Ohio, because he's actually, I mean, he wasn't born in Ohio. He lived out here for a long time. So, you know, it's kind of cool to see, you know, one of the big names on YouTube is from your home state. It's like, it's so cool, you know? And then my best friend actually went to middle school with him, didn't even know it. So I'm just like, dude, you went to school with Markiplier? That's so cool, you know? I just kind of gushed and was like, oh, man. You know, because to me it's like, you know, it's like if I went...
Oh, jeez, too far.
You know, I just kind of gushed and was like, oh, man. You know, because to me it's like, you know, it's like if I went to school with Ego Rap.
Okay, now this one's going to have to be a bit of a tighter cut, because this is where the new file starts. And look at all of this friggin' space that we saved. That is 3 minutes-ish. Goodness. Oh my goodness. So yeah, as always with these things, if you guys are out there watching and stuff during the live stream, feel free to leave a comment, of course. I'm going to be cycling between this and the comments to see if you guys are writing stuff, you know, so don't expect, you know, give me a little bit of time to answer your comments and stuff like that. So...
If I went to school with Ego Raptor or something like that, it's like...
You just gotta bridge the gap a little bit more. Should be good.
If I went to school with Ego Raptor or something like that, it's like...
It's gotta be like right on the nose, I think.
I went to school with Ego Raptor or something like that. It's like, oh my god, you know. Those guys are like, you know, my YouTube heroes, you know. And I'm gushing, I'm fanboying, I realize.
Okay, we're gonna add the thing right there. Start a new video. Just so that way, you know, you guys aren't confused by me saying Ego Raptor really weird. So, yeah. Let's put GoPro, oops, capitalize started. See, GoPro started a new file, asterisks. There we go. Yeah, because it does cut off a little bit of audio. So let's see. I have to shrink this a little bit. See how it looks.
It's like, you know, it's like if I went to school with Ego Raptor or something like that. It's like, oh my God, you know, those guys are like, you know, my youth. If I went to school with Ego Raptor or something like that, it's like, oh my God, you know, those guys are like, you know, my YouTube heroes. You know, and I'm gushing, I'm fanboying. I realize that. So, yeah, man, it's just. I'm gushing, I'm fanboying, I realize that. Yeah, man, it's just, what I'm doing with the whole Let's Play thing is just kind of cherry picking different things that I like.
See what starts.
Different things.
Okay.
The whole Let's Play thing is just kind of cherry picking different things that I like about their channels and how they do business on YouTube. And then, you know, just kind of discarding the stuff I don't like. And, you know, I'm just trying to organize. And, you know, I'm just.
Okay.
Discarding the stuff I don't like, just trying to organize it as far as like how I want to approach things, because I prefer the like the Grumps more laid back style, or it's just them talking all the time. But at the same time, there's a lot of parts in there where it's not necessarily dead air, but it's just, you know, it's not very interesting. It's a lot of grinding, and that's kind of the nature of some of the games they play. So, you know, it is what it is. And so, you know, I want to take their laid-back style and kind of, you know.
Oh, shit. Fuck that up.
So, you know, it is what it is. And so, you know, I want to take their.
Gulp.
And so, you know, I want to take their.
To hell with you, Gulp.
The nature of some of the games they play, so, you know, it is what it is. You know, I want to take their laid-back style and kind of, you know, incorporate some of the more mainstream Let's Players, you know, like. Incorporate some of the more mainstream Let's Players, you know, like PB and Jeff, Peanut Butter Gamer and Space Hamsters Let's Play channel is a great example of how they do this. You know, they have like the little edits and stuff like that. They put the text on the screen and they skip over a lot of the boring parts, but I just don't want. A lot of the boring parts, but I just don't want it to be, you know.
Rain on a little bit. Back it up just a squish there.
They skip over a lot of the boring parts, but I just don't want it to be, you know, a big scream fest where I'm playing like Insomnia and Soma and, you know, Five Nights at Freddy's, and I'm not really interested in that kind of stuff, you know. My angle is more towards the retro games or retro style games. I know, super rich.
Okay. I like it. I didn't even miss a beat there. Just cough and move on.
Games or retro style games. I know, super original. You know.
Oops.
Games or retro style games. I know, super original. You know, who doesn't do those types of games? I know, but you know, those are the kind of games I'm really types of games. I know, those are the kind of games I'm really interested in. You know, it's just, you know, games from my childhood, and then, you know, some of the newer retro style games like Shovel Knight is a great example. Phantom Breakers, Battlegrounds.
Actually, no, I'm gonna keep that in there. Shows that I'm thinking. Psychology.
Is a great example. Phantom Breakers, Battlegrounds, another great example.
Actually, nah, I ain't gonna get rid of it. I don't like it. I don't like it.
Games like Shovel Knight is a great example. Phantom Breakers, Battlegrounds, another great example. It was the second game that I played, which I'm going to be picking up a lot of those series soon. Be finishing them up. But basically, I just want up a lot of those series soon. Be finishing them up. But basically, I just want to retool the whole Andy Cade style, I guess, of videos. And, you know, I've just been writing down different things I want to do, different things I don't want to do. And I'm hoping to things I want to do, different things I don't want to do. And I'm hoping to do collaborations, of course. You know, I'm always down for collaborations. But, you know, again, it's got to rely a lot on timing. You know, if they're in the air. But, you know, again, it's got to rely a lot on timing. If they're in the area is another thing. But, of course, with online gaming, you know, we can kind of bridge that gap a bit more. But, you know, it's a little iffy. But anyway, I know I'm, you know, rambling on about stuff like that.
He's really got to edit this guy down. Whew. I knew it was going to be a lot of cuts, but I didn't think it was going to be this much.
But anyway, I know I'm, you know, rambling on about stuff like that. And, you know, in more YouTube-y news, I guess, just to kind of wrap up this little section, you know, I am planning something very big, a major announcement for next year, because next year is going to mark my 10th anniversary on YouTube, and I really want to do something major to kind of shake things up as far as, you know, my channel goes, and to, you know, help push me forward into, you know, the next decade of content creation, whatever you want to call it. I hate using that word, content. It's just, I mean, it is what it is, but I hate using it. To me, it sounds very pretentious. You know, I'm a content creator. You know, you got to create the best content. And it's just, ugh, I don't like it. I like it. So, but anyway, I do want to do something, you know, very big, and I'm, you know, in the middle of preparing for it. you know, but I'm not pretentious, you know, I'm a content creator.
Sorry, I
You
forgot
know,
my
you gotta
spot.
create the best content, and it's just, ugh, I like it. I like it. So, but anyway, I do want to do something, you know, very big.
There's what I wanted. Cut out a little bit of extra space here.
So, but anyway, I do want to do something, you know, very big, and I'm, you know, in the middle of preparing. I do want to do something, you know, very big, and I'm, you know, in the middle of preparing for it, you know, but
A little too much Shatner in this vlog, I apologize. I'm sorry, I apologize. Whatever the throat noise is.
I'm, you know, in the middle of preparing for it, you know, but I'm, you know, in the middle of preparing for it, you know, but I'm not going to announce anything just yet because I'm still in the middle of, you know, but I'm not going to announce. I do want to do something, you know, very big, and I'm, you know, in the middle of preparing for it. I'm not going to announce anything just yet because I'm still in the middle of getting it ready, and when the time is right. Just yet because I'm still in the middle of getting it ready. When the time is right, I will reveal it to you. So just be on the lookout for that. So now that we've got, be on the lookout for that. Be on the lookout for that. So just reveal it to you. So just be on the lookout. Getting it ready. When the time is right, I will reveal it to you. So be on the lookout for that. So now that we've gotten the will reveal it to you. So be on the lookout for that. Now that we've gotten the YouTubey stuff out of the way, I will reveal it to you. So be on the lookout for that. Now that we've gotten the
I think I'm just gonna get rid of that whole line altogether. Wait, no, damn. There we go. I didn't know it did that. I figured it would just correct itself. Alrighty.
Alright, I'm
Son of a bitch.
in the middle of getting it ready. When the time is right, I will reveal it to you. Now that we've gotten the YouTubey stuff out of the way, like I said, with now that we've gotten the YouTubey stuff out of the way, like I said, with personal life stuff, you know, I'm gonna be moving this weekend, gonna be starting school. I do want to set up, you know, my New Year's resolution is to set up a fairly set schedule for YouTube stuff, you know, so that way you guys aren't like, when's the next video coming out? I don't know, dude. You know, stuff like that. Other things I want to do, you know, beyond YouTubey stuff. You know, stuff like that. Other things I When's the next video coming out? I don't know, dude. Other things I want to do, you know, beyond YouTube-y stuff. When's the next video coming out? I don't know, dude. Other things I want to do beyond YouTube-y stuff is I really want to get into podcasting. And I know I've mentioned this before on earlier videos, but I do want to get into podcasting. And I know I've mentioned this before on earlier videos. I do want to get into podcasting, and And I know I've mentioned this before on earlier videos. I do want to get into podcasting, and you know, I got a pretty solid idea of what I want to do. It's just a matter of, you know, getting it lined up. And again, with podcasting more than YouTube, because YouTube is a little more forgiving, but podcasting, you have to have a fairly set schedule with stuff like that, because it's very, you know, it's like, it's got to come out, you know, that schedule with stuff like that, because it's very, you know, it's like, it's got to come out, you know. With stuff like that, because it's very, it's got to come out, you know, once a week at this time on this day, you know. It's very regimented, more so than YouTube, which is saying something, because YouTube's starting to get there too. But anyway, I do want to start a podcast. It's still in the developmental stage. YouTube's starting to get there too. But anyway, I do want to start a podcast. It's still in the developmental stage. You know, I got a good idea. I just need to get, you know, a name for it, brand. You know, I got a good idea. I just need to get a name for it, branding, getting guests lined up. That's going to be another big one for my podcast. And just the general structure of.
Oh man, I can't wait to start making videos a bit more regularly, because I've noticed, I don't know if you guys noticed, that, you know, ever since I left Japan, Tubinos. Hey Behringer, how's it going? Sorry, I don't know how long you've been waiting there, and I guess some comments were removed. I don't know who that was. Whatever. Anyway, so yeah, Tubinos. Oh, were you talking about the podcast thing, or? Sorry, yeah, this is a bit more of the mentally taxing portion, because you gotta, like, get in there. But this is all we got left. We got about 3 more minutes of video footage to edit and go through. Let me just check something real quick. Alright, great. What was being uploaded? It's finished uploading. It's been kind of an all-day project. So now we don't have to worry about lag as much, stuff like that. So that's good. Now,
lined up. That's going to be another big one for my podcast. And just the general structure of the show, So the general gist of it.
Yeah. But anyway, like I was saying with this whole thing about making videos more regularly, I noticed that ever since I left Japan and I wasn't making videos as much, I noticed that it's harder for me to you know bust out the videos and kind of get into video mode as much as I used to, and there's a lot less filler words in, say, for instance, my Andy Japandi series. It's just it's a lot easier for me to talk in those videos because it's like bam, all right, we're recording. Hey, gang, Andy here, and I'm here at this place, and we're gonna show you the place, and we're gonna talk about the place, and there you go. But with these, life vlogs, especially the ones in my car, because how I used to do them in my apartment was, I'd have like a basic outline on WordPad, which would tell me, the month, year, little bullet points. I'd have YouTube updates, bullet point, bullet point, bullet point. Personal life updates, bullet point, bullet point, bullet point. Say that 3 times fast, and that's how I would do the update videos. But in my car, it's a lot more spontaneous and a bit more on your feet as far as that kind of thing goes. And I generally, think a little bit about what I'm gonna say. That's why usually like the first minute or so is fairly decent. And then after like the 2-minute mark, I'm kind of humming and hawing and like, what do I talk about now? So. Right, yeah. Let's see. Been lots of time editing, huh? I never edited with a tablet before. I know there's programs out there that you can use for that. I'm not very familiar with editing with a tablet. I usually just use either a laptop or a PC, like a desktop PC, for editing. So, sorry. But there are some programs I can recommend. I know Power Director has a tablet version that you can use. I don't know how effective the tablet version is, but the original version is pretty good. It's very similar to like Windows Movie Maker as far as the layout goes. Similar, but not the same. Just putting that out there. So, yeah. So what I'm using to edit right now is my Asus X550 laptop. So it's got an i7 Intel Core, little mobile graphics card, and all that stuff. So yeah, I mean it was my main editing rig for a while before I got my custom desktop PC. And it's been editing videos ever since I left Japan. So I'm going to be moving up to Michigan soon. So once that's all done, then I'll be editing with my desktop PC again, which I'm kind of curious to see if, since I've been using this PC, this laptop for a while, I'm curious to see if I notice more of a speed change. Because when I first built the PC, I noticed little speed changes here and there and stuff like that. But yeah. Okay, I've been watching a couple times. Yeah, the like I said, the tablet version is a little hit or miss. I wouldn't recommend using it for especially intensive edits. Maybe if you're cutting out ums and ahs and long pauses or something. But it's not. Editing is very processor, graphics cards, very CPU intensive. So I would recommend using not necessarily a high-end PC, but just something a bit above average at least. So that way your computer's not all locking up and stuff like that with your edits. Now, some tablets, there are exceptions to the rule, of course. Now, the tablet I have is the Microsoft Surface Pro 3, so that's kind of the exception to the rule because it still runs a Windows OS. So it's basically just like a small form computer, like a small form laptop pretty much. So, I wouldn't mind editing on that, but it does get pretty warm, so I've never actually, I don't have any editing software on it, so I've never put it out to see how it fares. But I am kind of curious, just maybe something simple, nothing too complex, because it just has the i5 processor, and it's fairly middle of the road computer wise. But with the Surface, I don't usually use it for a lot of intensive processes. It's usually just for the casual stuff, going to the internet cafes, and I'm going to be going to college next month, so I'm going to be using it a lot for note taking and things like that. So for the casual stuff, it's perfectly fine. Oh yeah, well, here's the thing though. With the Surface Pro tablets, the Surface Pro 4 just came out. So what I would recommend, if you're a little strapped for cash, I would recommend looking for Surface Pro 3s, because with the 4 out, they're really going to be marking down the 3s. And you could get something that's pretty much on par with some of the lower end Surface Pro 4s. So just a little, little pro tip there for you. But of course, if you don't mind spending a little bit more, I'd recommend the Surface Pro 4. Just because it's the newest version, it has better spec, updated software, all that stuff. But, if you're on a budget, I would recommend the 3. Now the 2 and below, I don't know. At least the 3. I wouldn't go lower than that. But I digress. So let's finish editing this guy up.
Be another big one for my podcast, and just the general structure of the show. The general gist of it without actually giving.
Oh, you're from from PI, okay. There's some things you can get out there. I know, because I'm former Navy, so me personally, I never visited PI, but a lot of sailors that I know, are either from PI or they visited there before. So I know that. PI is a collection of islands, so I don't know where you are specifically, but for the more major parts of the Philippines, I know that there's some malls and stuff like that out there. But again, I don't know if they mark them up because it's considered an import item or whatever the case may be. But if all else fails, just get on Amazon or eBay or something like that. I don't know what's popular out there. I knew that in Japan, Yahoo Auctions was, was basically like their version of eBay. And, Yahoo is extremely popular out there. And to me, it's like, Yahoo, really? When I think of Yahoo, I think of when I first started using the internet, back in the mid-90s. And, I had my first email account was through Yahoo and all that kind of stuff. And, to me, Yahoo's kind of a bygone era, But I guess they're doing well overseas. Here in America, they're pretty low tier. I think they're, I guess search engine wise, if you're not using Google, you're an idiot. But if you decide not to use Google, there's Bing, I guess. I don't like Bing. But, that's just me. I'm definitely a Google man. Been using Google for years, and it's the best, obviously. But yeah, like I said, just look around Amazon, eBay, Yahoo auctions, if that's a thing in the Philippines. I don't know. Oh, Manila, yeah. Yeah, that's the main island, I think, right? I don't know. I'm not as familiar with the Philippines as I should be, but yeah, on Manila, definitely. So yeah, no problem. I mean, if you have any other questions, setups, not only just with editing but also with, you know, recording setup, microphones, cameras, all that stuff, feel free to ask, and I'll do my best to help you out.
That's going to be another big one for my podcast, and just the general structure of the show. The general gist of it, without actually giving away what the subject is, but it's basically just going to be like an interview style.
Okay, more throat noise. Friggin' hate throat noise. Okay. Gotcha. Yeah, that's the curse of using the lavalier mics. See, with the other mics, you don't really pick it up as much.
What the subject is, but it's basically just going to be like an interview style podcast where
it's a little too quick.
What the subject is, but it's basically just going to be like an interview style podcast where, it's going to be podcast where, it's going to be but it's basically just going to be like an interview style podcast where it's going to be probably like 45 minutes to an hour is what I'm shooting for. And, if I start talking with the guest a bit more and we start getting into stuff a bit more, then it can go on a little longer. But it's at least 45 minutes to an hour. That's my goal per episode. And I want to do it like one episode a week. But again, it depends on guests, when I can get them on and stuff like that. But the basic structure is going to be like me introducing the episode. I also want to get sponsors and stuff involved, so that way I can not only support the podcast, but also begin to support myself, because I'm no longer in the Navy, and at the time, support myself, because
I know, I'm breaking the cardinal sin of YouTube, talking about money. I might get shit on for this comment, but whatever.
Not only support the podcast, but also begin to support myself, because I'm no longer in the Navy, and at the time of this recording, I don't have a job yet. I'm going to be getting one of those, so don't think, I quit my job to, work on YouTube. I'm being realistic about it, but still, I need a little bit of kickback. So I'm being realistic about it, but still, I need a little bit of kickback so that way. Anyway, I shouldn't talk about money on YouTube. It's the cardinal sin of YouTube, is talking about money. But anyway, so the idea is, do the intro, Okay. Of YouTube, is talking about money. But anyway, so the idea is, do the intro, give the sponsor plug, when we get sponsors, and then hit into the interview, do a wrap up, and then episode. So I know, groundbreaking format, but that's
a little too long of a pause.
do a wrap up and then episode. So I know, groundbreaking format, but that's the general idea. So I do want to get some content creators, and I hate using that word, but I do want to get some of them on because that's kind of going to be the theme of my podcast. You know, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. So yeah, that's pretty much what I want. So yeah. You know, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. That's pretty much what I want to talk to you guys about.
It's too much, too fast. Just a scoosh.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. That's pretty much what I want to talk to you guys about in this rambly, extremely long episode. Jesus, it's almost at the 26th.
I'm going to cut that part out.
In this rambly, extremely long episode. Jesus, it's almost. So, Jesus, it's almost.
Okay.
It's almost at the 26-minute mark for the raw recordings. So that's. Oh, that's insane, man.
Might cut it a bit more. I don't know if I'll keep that part in or not.
This rambly, extremely long episode. Jesus. Oh, that's insane, man.
There might be too much room.
Rambly, extremely long episode. Jesus. Oh, that's insane, man. And I'm sure my mom's wondering where the hell I am, you know, because dinner's going to be soon. It's getting dark and cloudy. And so that's pretty much all I wanted to say in this rambly, extremely long update video. So, with that said, this is the Andy-san, signing off for now. Thanking you guys, poop, for tuning into this, like I said, rambly, long, tangent-filled update video, and for watching my other stuff. Also want to thank you guys for liking the thumbs, commenting, subscribing, send a few friends to the... And hey, as always, we'll see you next time. Catch you later, guys. Bye. See you in Portage. Bye.
Okay, and I just gotta get the frameage right. Got it. Whew. Alrighty. So this is a very long episode, so I don't think I'm gonna put music to this one. I usually do, but it's like 20 plus minutes, 23 minutes. And it's already getting kind of late, and I don't want to stay up all night editing and putting it to music and stuff. Ain't nobody got time for that. Oh, you're talking about the whole Navy thing. No, I got honorably discharged. So, yeah, it's just my time to go. Decided to get out and go back to college. You know, get my learn on. I mean, the Navy was fine. You know, I enjoyed parts of my time there. There was times I didn't like, especially near the end. But, you know, I don't regret joining. I did a lot of great things, visited a lot of great places, and some not so great places, but mostly good places. So, you know, I don't regret joining. And it's given me a lot of great opportunities after my enlistment, you know, getting my GI Bill, getting to go to college for free, essentially. So I'm really excited for that. So what I'm thinking here for the video and stuff is since I don't want to add music because it's going to take too much time and it's already getting kind of late in this side of the planet. It's like a little past 1 in the morning here. So, I don't want to spend more time finding music, and plus with the really long videos, it can get kind of difficult because you got to get like 3 to 4 songs lined up, and what can I say? I'm lazy, so sue me. Alright, anyway, while this guy is rendering, it's going to take 3 minutes. Jesus. I don't think it's going to take that long, but it's the estimated thing is. So, alright, I'll just hang out here in the chat. So if you guys got any questions or whatever, feel free to ask me. And like I said, with the whole Navy thing, it's my time, so yeah. Yeah, exactly. Go back to school, get a new career, things like that. Because, in the Navy I was a sonar tech, so yeah, no problem. In the Navy I was a sonar tech, so, and hunt for submarines and things like that. And it was a lot of fun, but, once you do your job for so long, it just gets kind of boring. And I was looking a bit more ahead, a bit more long term in my potential Navy career, and I was just like, this just isn't for me, long term. I was glad to have joined, glad to have served, but doing it long term, re-enlisting, stuff like that, it just didn't really appeal to me. So I decided to get out, go back to college, and just move on. So, speaking of Navy stuff, and I know I mentioned this before in another video, but I do plan on making a Life After the Navy series. Because what the video series I'm most famous for is a little series called NFAQs, or Navy Frequently Asked Questions. And, let's see. Oh, I was in for 5 years. Yeah, about 5 years. So with the whole Life After the Navy series, it's basically going to be a sequel series to NFAQs, which NFAQs was answering, Navy frequently asked questions, about people who are thinking about joining the Navy, and just maybe want some clarification on some stuff. But Life After the Navy is going to be kind of a sequel series to it, and it's going to detail, a lot of people who have questions about what life is like, not just after the Navy, but just after the military in general, and, what the environment is like, job market, what to do when you get out, how to process certain things in the GI Bill, all that stuff. And I'm not sure how detailed I want to get because, again, every situation is different, so, I don't want to spend all this time on a video outlining all these very detailed answers, and then, like, some guys in the comments, like, hey, I did the thing that you said, but it didn't work for me because my situation's different. You're a phony. Hey, everybody, this guy's a phony. Yeah. And, I'm really inspired by this one guy named JT Suits. I'll put his name in chat. Just look up that guy on eBay. He's doing what I want to do as far as the whole Life After Navy series. Because he was in the service as well. He was in Navy. But he was on, like, an aircraft carrier, and I'm a small boy. I was on a frigate and a destroyer. So I was on, the smaller end of that, So our experiences are similar but different. But he still explains a lot of things, and I learned a lot from him as far as, you know, how to do certain things with the post 9/11, stuff like that. Oh, hey, there's my wallpaper. John and Aaron win. They realize friendship's more important. I'm still seriously gushing over that right now. Like, you guys have no idea. It's so good. So good. Why isn't this showing up? I'm trying to get friggin' Audacity to show up. Why isn't it? Friggin'... There we go. Jeez. Friggin' OBS, man. I'm telling you. It'll be the death of me. Gam groups. Alright, so we're going to move on over to audio editing, which is just pretty much going to be dealing with levels and stuff like that. So it's a little less intense than my video editing, because with video editing, that's like the main raw cut edits, so I have to be a bit more scrupulous, or just be a bit more attention to detail oriented. You know what I mean. It's tired and I can't words very good. So anyway, what we're going to do here is make it a mono track. Now the reason I convert the stereo track to a mono track is because with a lot of the stuff that I do, like compression and things like that, if I were to do it on a stereo track, sometimes you get this weird ping pong effect. Like, it would sound perfectly normal in this ear, and then in the other ear, you know, the volume would drop. And it's very strange. So I convert it to a mono track, and then after all my edits, I'll reconvert it to a stereo track. So just to explain some things. And also, OBS doesn't show EQ settings or any of that other stuff, which is silly, but yeah, it is what it is. I do explain some of my settings in one of my videos, but yeah. Oh, jeez. Sorry. Sorry, my brain kind of stopped there. Alright, so first thing we're going to do is go into equalization, and there are certain EQ curves that you can get if you go on audacity.com. That's the program I'm using to edit the audio, by the way, if you guys didn't know. It's Audacity. And you can go to the Audacity website and pick up the equalization pack, or the EQ pack. And it has a bunch of different EQ settings, because the settings that it normally comes with is just, you know, a couple, and some of them are okay, and then some of them are just kind of novelty. You know, you may or may not need to use them. But I'd recommend picking up their EQ pack, so that way you can help warm up your sound and stuff like that. So the EQ that I use first is something called DECA FFRR78. It's very similar to, back in the day, Audacity had this thing called EMI 78, which is also in that pack, which is like the classic vinyl record sound. It's very warm, and you know, a lot of the treble, well, not too much of the treble, but just enough of the trebles cut out. But the DECA 78, you know, doesn't add as much bass as the EMI 78 does, which is why I like to use it, because it adds bass, but not too much. It just helps to warm up the sound and things like that. Which is great for editing older videos, but the newer videos, it just helps boost them up. So, got that. Then we're going to go back into EQ. Then we're going to do a 100 Hertz rumble cut, which seems counterintuitive, but I like using it, especially for like outside videos, because, you know, you'll hear a lot of the low rumble of cars and stuff passing by, and it can get kind of distracting. So that's another reason to use it. Gets rid of a lot of, again, that low rumble noise that you really don't need in those videos. So I did that. Okay. Now, sorry. Doing the wrong thing here. Okay, now that we did the EQ, now we're going to go into compressor. And yeah, my settings. If you guys want my exact curve and stuff, I can put it up. But, you know, I just add that. I hit OK. And I'm thinking about doing like a separate tutorial for certain sections of how I edit videos, just to kind of highlight certain parts. But again, I'll have to wait until I get all settled into my new apartment, which I'll be moving this week, so very soon, very soon. Alright, cool. And basically what compression does is it evens out a lot of the audio spikes. So if I start talking really loud, it'll lower the volume of that loud audio spike. And then I'll use another thing called normalization. And that basically does the opposite. It takes a lot of the quiet parts and makes them a bit louder so they're more even in the mix. But we'll get to that later. So after compression, I go to bass treble. And I do a bass treble cut. And the reason for this is to not only cut out more treble, but considering my setup has very little treble, I'm actually thinking about adding some treble, which is normally what I don't do. But I do cut out a lot of bass, so that way I can get rid of that extra thumpiness. So, and these settings are a bit atypical for me because, again, I'm adding treble, which is something I don't normally do. Usually cut treble along with bass. So for this, it'll be a -5 decibel bass cut, a 2 decibel treble boost, and a -3 decibel level cut. And this is to help prevent spiking and things like that. But this mix looks pretty even. I just do it just to be on the safe side.
Alright, and we're recording. Hey gang, Andy here, coming at you, book, with my December.
Okay. Good, just enough treble. Not enough to be obnoxious, but just enough to kind of cut through the mix a bit more, so that's good. And again, this is a longer audio file, so it takes a bit more to edit and stuff like that. But normally these are pretty quick, so yeah. Alright, cool. See, the waveform's a lot, you know, shorter, so. Alright, let's go ahead. Now we've done that, we're going to go to normalize. And basically, because I cut the levels down, normalize is going to help boost it back up again. So I'm going to go to normalize, and then normalize maximum amplitude to -0.5 decibels. So that's going to be the absolute maximum it's going to be, so you won't hear any peaking or anything like that, at least excuse me, in theory. And it also gets rid of a lot of offset and stuff like that, helps even the mix out basically. So there you go, the waveform's louder now, so let's give it a quick listen.
Alright, and we're recording. Hey gang, Andy here, coming at you, book, with my December 2015 update video, part 2. So yeah, I'm just sitting here in my car out by Grand Lake St. Mary's here in Saline, Ohio. Just going over, giving you guys a little bit of update on what's going on YouTube-wise as well as personal-wise. But
okay, not too bad. So, but what I like to do is I like to make a second pass through a lot of these videos, all these videos rather. So I'll go ahead and go back to EQ, and I think I'm just gonna do the 100 Hz rumble cut this time around instead of adding another Decca 78 cut, because the sound's already pretty warm. I'm just trying to cut out some more bass so you can get a little bit more clarity. I'll go ahead and do the 100 Hz rumble cut. Okay.
alright, and we're recording. Hey gang, Andy here, coming at you, book, with my December 2015 update video.
Alright, see, not bad. Okay. Then we're gonna go ahead and compress it again. Same settings. Which will again help even out the sound, even though the sound's already pretty even, because one thing GoPros, especially the newer GoPros, are good at is evening out the sound. So if you guys are curious about the camera setup and all that stuff, I used this GoPro Hero 4 Black Edition, and then I attached a little generic lavalier mic to it, and that's what you're hearing. Okay, and then the compressor evens out the sound even more. So, go ahead and do that.
Alright, and we're recording. Hey gang, Andy here, coming at you, book, with my December.
Okay. There we go. Do the same bass treble cut that we did last time, or bass cut treble boost rather, which is again pretty unusual for me. I usually cut them both, but yeah. Okay. Then we're going to normalize to bring the mix back up to volume again to help even out a lot of the quiet parts. Yeah, man. There we go. See, that mix looks a lot better.
Alright, and we're recording. Hey gang, Andy here, coming at you, book, with my December 2015 update video, part 2. So yeah, I'm just sitting here in my car out by Grand Lake St. Mary's here in Saline, Ohio. Just going over, giving you guys a little bit of update on what's going on YouTube-wise as well as personal-wise. But it's mostly going to be personal because of reasons I'll get into later. But basically, like, I've been very busy as of late, you know, getting personal stuff taken care of, so I haven't had as much time to devote to YouTube stuff as I would like, but hopefully that's going to change soon. But in the meantime, in my personal life, as you guys know, I already got an apartment all squared away.
Okay, cool. Just a little sound sample there. So what I'm going to do is copy the track, make a new mono track. Hello. Oh, there it goes. Sorry, kind of spaced out there for a sec. So, okay, so copy the track, paste it in the new track, go up to here, and make it a stereo track. So that's how you get around the whole ping pong effect. Then export it as a uncompressed wave file. So .wav. Boom, boom. It'll take about 10 seconds. Okay. Goodness. I can't believe I'm starting to feel tired today. It's crazy. Alright. Okay, it's done there. Close that out. Then we're going to switch back to Vegas. Vegas, baby, Vegas. Alright, cool. So now we got that taken care of. We'll go ahead and import the new WAV file onto the timeline. I'll just slap that guy in there, wait for it to finish importing there. Okay, good, good. Yeah, we'll just go ahead and delete that track, which will leave room for the new track, and we're going to continue editing the audio a little bit more, give it one more little pass. So in Vegas, which is the program I'm using right now, is Sony Vegas Pro 13. Is the version I'm using right now. You can also add some audio effects like equalization, compression, stuff like that. So what I'm going to just do here is in Vegas I just use compression and EQ. So I'm going to add another compressor in here. And I'm going to put a 5 decibel cut, 5 decibel volume cut, because when you add compression in Vegas it boosts the volume a bit. So to avoid peaking and stuff like that, usually 5, maybe a little less, but usually 5 to start off with. And then I use a high-low cut, tweak it here depending on how much I need to cut.
Alright, and we're recording. Hey gang, Andy here, coming at you, book, with my December 2015 update video, part 2. So yeah, I'm just sitting here in my car out by Grand Lake St. Mary's here in Saline, Ohio. Just going over, giving you guys a little bit of update on what's going on YouTube-wise as well as personal-wise. But it's mostly going to be personal because of reasons I'll get into later. But basically, I've been very busy as of late, getting personal stuff taken care of, so I haven't had as much time to devote to YouTube stuff as I would like. But hopefully that's going to change soon. But in the meantime, in my personal life, as you guys know, I already got an apartment all squared away up in Portage, Michigan, which is just a couple miles south of Kalamazoo, Michigan, where I'm going to be going to school at. So I start in January of 2016, so next month. I'm getting the rest of my classes and stuff squared away for that. I should have gotten it squared away earlier, but the whole sign-up process for it was kind of complicated, and I didn't really know what I needed. This past weekend, my mom and I went up to Western Michigan, where I'm going to be going to school at. We did the orientation thing, but because it was for the spring semester, which is primarily when a lot of transfer students come over, instead of just fresh new faces, the celebration stuff wasn't as big as I'd expected because there wasn't as many people. And the first couple panels and stuff were pretty disorganized. There's a lot of people coming in late and not explaining stuff and just basically doing a Q&A. Ooh, the sun's coming out again. So you can see how white I am. But anyway, yeah, so the first couple panels were pretty thrown together, so we were kind of discouraged by that. But then we went to the VA office, the Veterans Affairs office. Finally got to get some FaceTime with people I've been corresponding with on email for a while. And it just, it felt great, to actually touch base with them and stuff like that. And, they kind of taught me some things I needed to submit still, for extra grants and money and whatnot. So I already took care of that.
Alright. Okay. Seems like the mix is pretty good. Alright, so, yeah, seems like we're doing pretty good video-wise. Like I said, I'm not going to add music to this particular one, but most of my videos I do, but this one I'm not. It's because it's so long. So, I think that just about wraps it up for this little impromptu late night stream. So, with that said, this is the Andy-san. Signing out for now. Thanking you guys, poop, for tuning into the stream and for watching my other stuff. And also look out for that video coming soon. Thinking probably tomorrow, actually. So, stay tuned for that. And I want to thank you guys for watching my other stuff. Also want to thank you guys for liking, commenting, rating, commenting, sending a few friends to the party. Jesus, my brain. And always, we'll see you next time. Catch you later, guys. Bye.